Let's get into it.
Hill Kings Podcast.
What's up, guys? Oh no.
That's right,
do it.
Chris. That's fucking right, bitch. You're surrounded, ho. How does it feel?
I will
Yeah.
respect
Oh.
your theme song.
This is
This
my
is-
dream. It's not a theme song.
It'll be
ass.
reverent.
Yo, this is giving me
Theme
1812
song.
vibes right now.
Yeah,
I'm feeling,
baby.
Oh, shit.
I'm finna burn down the White House.
Oh,
Let's
hell
go.
yeah. Oh,
I'm about
no.
to fuck around and find out, bitch.
Nephews, I'm being surrounded. Come
We
to
only
my
have-
aid, nephews.
We only have 3.5 minutes left of this, so the French one is coming up next.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You guys
And
have
some-
two theme songs?
Oh yeah, Guy Marley.
There's gonna be some
I think-
quick announcements about the assembly later today.
Free.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Canada.
Did we miss the True North part already, Thomas?
Yeah, that was a while
Oh,
ago.
crap. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Sorry, Winnipeg. Suck it, Winnipeg. We stand on guard for
Me.
Nice. Guys, what song was that? That was cool. I like
was
that.
Club
You guys like all
banger.
you guys like all knew that for some
An
reason.
1800s club banger. Welcome back. It's been a second.
Couple.
We have
couple.
guests, Chris.
Mhm.
That's
We
why
do.
that's why we're dressed, Chris.
Dressed up again.
We got Kevin and we got Thomas from Oops All Hill King.
Hello, howdy.
The name
Oops,
of our
all
show, but
segments.
thank you so much for having us. Just could we run that back and get it right,
Yeah,
please?
just 'cause it
Oops.
is-
Absolutely
We're
not.
explicitly
Yeah,
here to
yeah,
steal your fan
yeah,
base, and that's
Totally.
it. So,
Yeah, fan base. Our nephews, as we call them.
yeah,
Nephews, if you would like
That's
new
great.
uncles, here are some potential new uncles for you,
Oh,
nephews.
You guys are honorary uncles.
I'm
Today.
proud to be an uncle. Proud to be an
the
uncle.
feel.
uncle, the uncle truly is a kind of mythic figure in the family,
Mm,
right? They
mm,
they carry a lot of wisdom, a lot of power, and a lot of
Mm.
kind of the sinister side of the family as well.
Yes.
Well,
Truly.
yeah, it is true. It is true. It's a
Uncle
tragedy.
behavior.
Uncle
What's
behavior.
up, guys? How's it going? Tell us about yourselves. Introduce yourselves to
Oh,
our
Yeah,
to
because
our
we
nephews.
haven't met actually.
Yeah, you guys just
Brad-
met Chris,
Thomas,
Brad
I'll
guested on
introduce you.
Oops.
I'll introduce
Okay,
you, Thomas, and then you
I'll
introduce me. Okay.
introduce you.
and then
So,
you
yeah.
introduce me too.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Okay. So Thomas is he's like a little sort of rat man who lives in Chicago, and he
Just
sort
wanna
of
call out
He has
I'm
like a-
Jewish, so I resent
Whoa.
kind of use of the term rat.
Jeez,
yeah.
Canadians. Ooh.
but yeah, no, he's sort of
But carry on,
he's
Kevin.
nipped off his tail, and he's living in Chicago. He was in Winnipeg at one point in his life. We're friends. We have shows that we do together. We're improvisers in comics, and I don't know. His I guess you could say he has small balls. But anyway,
Mm.
So
Mm.
even in your intro for me, you said
Whoa.
we, you kind of pumped your own credits. You called me a rat man.
do I
you
seem like
used
some?
small balls. I don't
Small
know,
balls
I
rat
guess
man.
Yeah, with no
I'll go
tail.
next. Yeah,
Apparently.
Kevin, up until today, I thought one of my close friends, like really someone I've done a lot of artistic collaborations with, kind of an inspiration in a way.
It ends
He's a
now.
master producer, very talented.
A master
and
what?
A master producer, kind of. Yeah. And
Can't be a reproducer. I snipped tubes.
yeah, I don't know, Kevin. He's a multi-business owner.
Yeah, I mean,
What-
visionaire, as we call
Can you
him.
stop being sincere? It feels shitty now because
What close to the ground animal would you describe him as?
Mm,
Mm.
that's a
Yeah,
great
if you're a rat
question.
man.
Yeah, he called you
what
a
am I
rat man.
kind of?
Yeah, I guess a sort of an armadillo because
A little bit of an
Kevin
armadillo
is so
guy.
strong,
Texas
you know.
style.
And
He's,
strong. Stop
yeah, like
complimenting me.
He's got a tough exterior, but on the inside he's soft and sweet and
It's
He
not
very
rolls into
thoughtful.
balls
So.
to get
Yeah.
Now I
around.
feel like an asshole, right? Because I kind of came out for like I thought we were. Sorry.
Friends?
Brad's someone. He's a guy.
Let's go. Let's
yeah,
go.
that was in Canada. He has a spider behind him. And
what are you doing, step bro?
That's a spider?
I think
always
I've
thought it was
seen
a
that.
I know that
Yeah.
Brad was recently in Vancouver. That's what I know about.
Yeah.
Brad. That's what
That
I know.
is pretty
Yeah.
much all you need to know about
Yeah,
Brad.
we tried to kick him out, but he came back.
He wouldn't.
Like a
didn't
little
Put a
rat
stake on.
man, I
Like a little rat
scurried
man.
my way back across.
surrounded
Again,
by
just
rats.
not feeling super comfortable with the language everyone's using today.
Ah,
Like, I
nice.
am excited to join, but just
Brad.
like please watch out because
Brad, do you want to disparage me a little bit?
Yeah, Chris, so you guys know, just so you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
we have an
What's his deal?
American here.
Uh-oh.
Chris is from a little town in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
right
guys,
outside of Oklahoma City.
Let's
Yes.
apologize to his fucking ass.
Oh, sorry, bud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry that you're from Edmond, bitch.
Oh yeah. Sucks to be you, dude.
I'm,
My
I'm
condolences.
sorry you've got
Yeah.
it wrong.
Yeah, Chris is
Sorry you got it
he's a professional juggler / daddy. He is
Whoa.
fathered of himself.
You have children?
Yeah, he
I-
has
I
one of
have.
them.
Wait, that's going to be a
Mhm.
huge because
One
this
of child.
episode we'll get into
It's
it.
very-
like, kind
yeah.
of about generational divides.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Pops.
definitely is.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
pops.
To be clear, because I have a terrible memory. Brad, you're not with child.
I am not with child.
You're not.
No.
with
I
child.
am
Yeah.
I am
Childless.
non-childular,
Non-childular?
Yeah.
as they would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? No one would say
In-childed.
that, right?
No,
That's
they
not
say
real-
it. I've
Uh-uh.
heard them
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
around town, even
Which town?
Edmond, Oklahoma.
Okay,
Really
well,
quick, I
can't
think
I
do that.
also
Brad-
just want to get out ahead of this. Like, I have other shit to do today.
What do you
so-
mean?
I just want to, like, I'm so happy to be here, but
He's
We
got
got rope.
like little pieces of cheese to eat.
He's got a nibble on, sort of.
so anti-Semitic.
Yeah, real quick,
Also,
Brad, you're
you
a vole.
know, the fact that I'm Jewish means I'm lactose intolerant. I cannot stomach dairy.
Right.
Brad,
All
before we
right.
get into this, you got an animal for me. I think you're a vole, and I will not expand.
What the fuck is that?
Google
Man,
it later, man.
I had a bull infestation in my yard last year.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
That's all you
is
need
that,
to
like
know.
a little fuzzy little guy?
Call me an animal, and let's get into it.
You're like a fucking
Can't think of one.
Right?
Ooh.
Don't know enough animals.
Fuzzy
So the
Go.
first segment of the show that we like to do, you all know what it is. Say it with me. First segment.
I don't.
Here we go.
Oh, it
Three,
is.
This.
2, 1.
This
week
This
in
is
Arlen.
the
Arlen.
Hill.
Akron.
Akron, Ohio. The setting of King of the Hill.
Oh my God!
That's grown, not moan. You want anime moan?
There we go.
Uh-oh. This is the segment of the show where I forget how to do a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, can you, well, sorry, it's so you're trying to share the link, so it's restricted. If you
Yeah,
could
no,
just
we got
make
it. Yeah, it's
anyone
working.
Here we go.
with
He's
the link.
just trying to click
Loading.
this- There we are.
Okay.
There we are.
Guys, this is the segment of the show. We do it every
Yeah.
week. You know it. You love it. This is called This Week in Arlen, where we take a peek at what was going on in the world during the time of this episode's airing on
Fascinating.
television. This episode, of course, aired on November 16th, 1997. How old were y'all on this day?
I would have been 7 years old.
Mm,
I would have been
Right.
6.
I also would have been 6.
Whoa.
Your
Chris
boy
would have
was-
been a crisp little 2-year-old boy.
Am I the
Or-
oldest one on this fucking show?
Or no, I was not 2.
He was
I was-
4.
I was double that. I was this many.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was
Good.
having bathies.
And just for the listeners, he
Mhm.
held up 4 fingers. so-
Yeah.
Yes,
Or
yes,
fingies.
for our
Right,
audio
sorry.
nephews.
fingies.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, as 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds,
Trying to
4-year-olds.
think back to this time. You know, this
Yeah.
would have been
So you're in grade one.
Clinton era.
Yeah.
Just starting to sort of think about George W. Bush's upcoming presidential run.
At the
Yeah.
age of 6, that's what you're thinking about?
In
George
Canada?
Bush's
Definitely, yeah.
upcoming presidential run?
My parents taught me to kind of affirm my values early. And,
Oh, I see.
yeah, you can't vote, but you can knock on doors, and I was doing it at
As a
age
6-year-old
7
boy,
and 8.
damn, man.
Yeah,
Just to be clear, to support George W. Bush,
to
right?
support George
Yes,
W. Bush.
big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in a
In
pre
Canada.
9/11 world, this is what
Canada, no less.
this is what was going on. We always like to start by taking
Do
a
you say it's
peek.
pre 9/11
Oh.
every week?
Yeah, until we
Until we
get
Until
to
we cross
September
it.
11th. Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
kind of the benchmark that we're trying to reach. Once we
That's
get
when
to
the show is
9/11, I
peaked.
think we'll end.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
right away, sorry to jump into the segment here, but I was curious, touched by an angel on this week, an
Yeah.
early reference
Yes,
in the
it's
episode.
reference.
Yes. We've talked about Touched by
yeah.
an Angel. We've
Oh.
touched on an angel several
Oh.
times in this segment
So
because
graphic.
because it
Right,
goes
yeah.
up against King of the Hill. So I think that might have been a
Sure.
little bit of a slight in the episode.
Also,
Dale.
the episode name for Touched by an Angel is Charades, and there is a line also about charades.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
true.
right.
Weird that you would
Whoa.
pronounce it 2 different ways in the same sentence,
Because
but yeah.
Boomhauer
Mhm.
says
Well, that's the
charade
joke.
after they say charade.
I'll see you guys later, okay?
Someone didn't watch the fucking episode. Am I right,
Yeah.
guys?
Teacher,
Well,
I
pick
did
up on
my
that
homework. I
subtlety.
promise I
Come
did it.
on,
In
man.
fact,
Try
I
to-
even watched The Simpsons, the 2 Mrs. Nahisa Pima
You
Pepperl-
did.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Nahasa Pima
Wow.
Pedalons. I did as
Thank
you.
well.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
research.
Because I'm trying to make this a Simpsons episode. So
Right. We just talked
that-
about
is
that.
that
Let's do
problematic
this.
check.
Yeah.
Hold up, Batman
I am
Forever
brown,
was
so
on.
I can be. I
Well,
can
we'll
be
go
sort of
back to the
authority on
TV guide.
this.
We'll go back to the
Okay,
TV
I was
guide.
gonna say there was one other nice thing on there.
Is that
Well-
season 10 or season 9?
I believe this would be season 10 at this point,
It's
right?
season 9, episode
It is
7.
9? Okay.
9. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Fuck me then.
Yeah. I only just I watched it this morning.
That's
so.
why you'll never have a Simpsons
Shit.
podcast.
Oh,
Shit about the season.
Well, this episode kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It
This is
was
where it's-
pretty like fucked up, to be
It
honest with
takes
you.
Yeah.
it takes a turn for the worse in season 9. That's kind of this where everything starts to dip.
When Mike Reese
Yeah.
leaves as the
yeah,
showrunner
yeah.
and goes to Futurama or the
Okay,
Critic
now
or
I'll
whatever
see
the fuck
myself
happened.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris hates The Simpsons.
I don't hate The
But-
Simpsons. I'm just not
but, you know-
super versed.
Not to defend the Apu controversy, but I feel like The Simpsons tries to have it both ways. Like they
Yeah.
make fun of the culture,
Yep.
but then they also make the arranged marriage work. And so
I
it's
think
like
I think this
Yeah.
episode is successful in that regard. I think what is weird about it is there's like all the the thing that bothers me about it is that there's sort of racial mixing. And there's sort of, as
Yeah.
a half
Whoa,
brown, half white
Kevin's
person.
anti-miscegenation.
Oh, got it. All right.
It just sort of I have
that,
such a
flip
deep
that.
I have such a deep hate for my parents that it sort of
Yeah.
is I sort of no I feel like this episode does what you need it to from The Simpsons, which is like bring up something that feels like it's going to be a little touchy, but then like lands pretty softly. But I don't know. It also made me sad.
I don't recall anything about this episode. Can someone give me a quick
So
1 minute?
yeah,
I'm
synopsis
not a
of this
huge
one.
Simpsons guy. Yeah,
is,
obviously I know who Apu is.
Yeah, Apu's a bachelor. He's a swinging bachelor.
Okay.
He wins like one of those bachelor auction
Like
type
auctioning off
situations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and all of the women in the town are thirsting over his throbbing, meaty
No,
member.
right? No.
And then he
Looking
remembers
hot dog
he
roller.
he remembers that he's from India and that
That's
he
yeah, pretty much.
Waking
Yeah.
up in a cold sweat.
Yeah. He remembers that there's a whole arranged marriage situation, and his mom conveniently shows up, and he
Yes, okay.
pretends
Is
that
that who
he's
the woman
already.
is here?
Yes, that's his mom. He pretends that he's already married to Marge.
Yes.
So that he doesn't have to
okay.
get arranged marriaged, and then he ends up getting arranged marriage. Later on, they
Okay.
make his wife give birth to octuplets.
Oh my.
in the
Oh,
show.
yeah.
They make her.
Wow.
They
forgot
make they
that.
force her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Any
that's a hell of an
cartoon-
episode.
Any
We're-
birth in a cartoon is a forced birth, as far as I'm
Exactly.
concerned.
Well, they do have to write it in there, so it is kind
Were
of
all of the brown
inherently
people
by
voiced by
nature.
white people?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's good.
yes,
All of them
yes,
were. That's good.
yes.
Okay. I wanted to
Everyone.
double
I
check.
actually don't know if Manjula was.
She
Okay.
yeah, we'll have the nephews fact check that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Check it out,
I
nephews.
would just
Yeah.
want to
Leave
shout
us in
out
the
one of
comments,
my
too.
favorite Simpsons jokes is in that episode
Yeah.
where he asks her favorite book, film,
Oh,
and
yeah.
food,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
says the
Fried
answer to
green
all
tomatoes
three.
to all
That's
three.
great.
That's good.
That's a good.
That is a good
Oh,
joke.
nice.
I like when the mom falls down and it gives him the chance to get more time. Is his reaction.
Yeah, that is good.
This is my dream. We're just talking about a Simpsons episode
Yes,
for
yeah.
like 5
Sorry,
minutes.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is great.
Sorry.
is
I'll,
so
I'll shut
happy.
up. I'll stop
Yeah.
talking about
So,
No.
also,
But
is
back to the
Nil-
TV guide
The
here.
That's good.
Nielsen
That's
rating is
interesting.
higher for King of the Hill than Simpsons. Is that
Yes.
true, or is it? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so I think that this was around the time where King of the Hill was really launching and The
Mhm.
Yeah.
Simpsons was
Staunching.
staunching. Yeah.
X-Files still going strong, but I was going to point out Batman Forever was on NBC.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So you could
Batman
watch
Forever,
that King of the
actually.
Hill, catch
You
that King of the Hill, and then pick up
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Pick
Go
up
to
where
the
you
one.
through.
Batman Forever, that's the Riddler and the Two-Face one, right? Tommy Lee
Mhm.
Jones and
Yeah.
Jim Carrey?
I believe so, yeah.
The
Yeah.
good one.
And then hour-long episode of Jenny. You kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, a
That's
girl's
awesome.
gotta live in the real world.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
so
She has
true.
to. She has to.
In movie
What
news,
the fuck is this?
we had this Richard Gere, Bruce Willis,
Shakalan?
Shakale.
Shakalan.
This
Never
movie
seen
does
this one.
not exist. Like
This is
this,
new to me.
This is
movie
one of
No,
those-
no, it's based on a
This is
true
AI
story.
generated,
actually.
right? Like
During
his,
an-
his arm.
Yeah, during an FBI raid on a Moscow nightclub, the brother of a Russian gangster, Tarek Murad, is killed. He wants revenge and hires an anonymous hitman, the Jackal. It's actually called the Jackal. I think this is like a German poster.
Oh, you just got the wrong.
Ah,
different
that
release.
explains a lot.
Yeah,
honestly.
Sydney
actually.
Poitier is in it as
Jackal.
well.
How has he
Really?
not made the poster? They get Bruce Willis and Richard Gere on
Yeah.
there. Sidney
Richard
Poitier.
Gere was
pretty
big
iconic.
at this time.
Pretty iconic actor though to
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of snub that way in Shakalan.
In
Super
sports
modern.
news for my Canadian boys in the house,
Yeah.
Super Mario was inducted into the Hall of Fame. On
You mean
this,
esports
on
news,
this
right?
night. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin
You
knows a
had
ton about hockey.
the
Ask him
small-
anything about
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Italian
for a little bit.
plumber.
Yeah, we can riff about ice and skating.
Yeah,
And there's a Zamboni sometimes on the.
that is true. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's
point.
fun.
It's a
That
funny
is a good
word.
point.
Is that Mario
Uh,
Lemieux?
That was Mario. Yeah, Super Mario,
Yeah.
dude.
Which
Yeah,
Lemieux,
yeah.
of course, is French for the meow. Is that correct?
No,
Am I
it's French
correct?
for the best,
Is it really?
and he is the best. Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
we used to call him Pepe Lemieux, and he
Who
would,
did?
it's really good.
and
Who
he
called
would
him that?
chase
Was
around,
you and your
he
friends,
would
or
chase around
You and your little
sort of
friend.
Uh-huh.
you and
prancing
your little rat
and
buddies,
he
or
would prance. How dare you?
And by we, do you mean like yes in French? 'Cause
Yeah.
Forgive me, guys. I don't do the
Yeah.
French Canadian thing. Like, I'm gonna.
That's
Yeah,
good.
That's
No, you're
really
getting it.
good.
You're starting to
Uh,
get it. Do you guys
yeah.
think French Canadians are kind of the scum of the earth?
Wow. Okay.
whoa.
Is this payback for the whole rat
I
thing?
just saw Dune Part 2 directed by a French Canadian shit eater,
How was it?
Denny Villain. And yeah, you know what? It was more coherent than the first one. It had a few too many celebs for me.
Oh, yeah.
Too much
Did you need-
Zendaya.
Did you need
Mm.
Christopher Walken? Did you need Anya Taylor-Joy? Did everyone have to be famous?
I would say
Anya
you do
Taylor
need
Joy
Christopher
made
Walken.
me Anya Taylor sad.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
Yeah, the Argos beat the
Oh, yeah.
Rough Riders.
Yeah.
We're from
Yeah,
we're
let's
from Winnipeg, so
continue,
I think we're
sorry,
supposed
yeah.
to say fuck the Rough Riders.
Fuck the
Yeah.
Rough Riders.
Yeah. Do you know what this is, Chris?
No, but I don't want to choose sides because I don't want anyone called the Rough Riders being mad at me. That sounds scary.
This is the Canadian Football League, but
Oh,
Correct.
yeah.
wow.
Oops, all Canada. Reload
Yeah.
releases
Reload.
this week.
Yeah.
This
Hey.
motherfucker bought 40 copies.
Is that a
That's-
real photo?
That's mine. That's my
Yours?
photo.
Yeah.
That's
Three-
right
three
over
No,
there.
it is
vinyls.
not.
Sitting
lot
on the
of
ground.
vinyls,
Love
a
this
lot of-
album,
A lot
dude.
of jewel cases.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that
Yeah.
which I
3 vinyls, about 4,
Yeah.
like probably about 25 CDs, and then
Yep.
what, 8
Yeah.
Couple
cassettes? Like,
cassettes.
yeah, too
Yeah,
much, right? Too many.
not enough.
I don't
Yeah.
know, Brad. That's a lot of.
Yeah. Well, this
I
album
saw
came
Metallica live. They were good.
Oh,
out.
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Move on.
Move on. This shitty ass painting sold for
Whoa.
$4.2 million.
How did they? You know what I'll
Wow.
give him credit for here is. Do you know the name of the painting here?
It's Two Standing Women by Willem de Kooning.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
Talk to me when you have 2 women sitting down.
Yeah,
honestly,
right.
like
That's-
that would be a
What
painting.
the
I'd
fuck?
love
Yeah,
to
that's
see.
what we like to
4.2 for
hear.
standing.
How about
Yeah.
Get him a chair
Ladies-
for that
ladies,
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Throw a
breather,
fucking
ladies.
Chesterfield in there. Why don't
And you know,
you?
give them some clothes at that rate as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
shit.
they're scantily.
Can I tell you guys my
all.
offensive? Can I tell you guys my offensive joke?
I'm gonna bleep
Absolutely.
the whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was watching, and it's sort of related to what just happened. When I was watching a movie, I saw the trailer for Sarah Polley's Oscar-nominated film "Women Talking."
Okay.
And I said, "You think that's an interesting topic? I'd like to see a movie called Women the Up."
Oh my
because
Oh!
do you guys get it? Like women just they tell these stories.
All
and it's
right,
like-
man.
I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
Women be
respect
shopping,
I
women be
respect
Yeah,
shopping.
that's gonna be
Without-
really funny when I bleep the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're just like, oh,
But
Yeah.
Brad, please do send
It's
me
honestly-
the clip so that I can kind of keep that as in a sort of
Yeah.
safety deposit
Got
box.
I
it.
saw
Yeah,
that
you need
film and it
leverage,
did
I
make
understand.
me weep deeply. So it's a beautiful,
deep
beautiful story.
weeply.
Deep weeply.
Deep
Yes.
That's your new nickname.
No!
Yeah, what's up, Deep Weekly over here?
Deep weeply.
And video game
Oh,
news.
Holy crap!
Game
Oh, shit.
changer alert.
Hey, that's
Teasing
the guy that.
erections of 13-year-olds everywhere.
That guy-
Speaking
that's,
of which, Tomb Raider 2 came out.
There
Just
it
in
is.
time.
The DualShock was out. One of the
Yeah.
really like an innovation in controller technology. Was that the first second kind of joystick controller? Right.
I
That had
think
the
it.
left
think
I
and
think it
right?
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to see a baby picture of a person who's like killed a lot of people because that's the dude right there that sunk those billionaires recently.
That's true. Yeah.
That's the dude. That's like, look at him. That's his baby
That's a-
photo right
He's
there.
fucking going hard, this guy.
Yeah. It took me a second to kind
Chris,
of
man,
catch
that
up.
was good.
to
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was-
Really good.
I
That
bet.
That was
yeah.
a good joke.
That was a
Oh,
slow
That was
burn.
really good.
Joke of the
Let's all-
episode so
Let's
far.
all talk a
Look at the
lot
app.
about how well Chris did on that joke.
Yeah, and it
let's sort of
wasn't
be a little
offensive at all.
condescending, like
Yeah.
we didn't
Hey.
expect him to step
Yeah.
up that way.
Wow, good
No,
job,
yeah.
bud.
Yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
good work, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Wow.
patronizing the American? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
God damn
Bullying
it.
Yeah,
you right now.
uh-huh,
Not
yeah.
onto it quickly.
This
Like
is how
Super
Canadians
Mario.
bully.
Bringing
Yeah,
it
we're
back.
polite. Yeah, back to Super Mario. It was Shigeru
hockey player?
Miyamoto. No, the small Italian
No,
video
from
game
earlier.
plumber.
Yeah. This is the
Yeah.
hockey
Yeah.
player, right?
It was his 45th B-Day on this day.
Wow.
Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Mm.
Getting ready for the N64 to just really take off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the Nintendo 64 was like that's when you asked what we were doing when this episode came out, I was probably had my head buried in like Mario Kart the whole time. I
Nice.
probably wasn't doing anything else except for
Yeah.
this.
Wasn't allowed
Shout
to
out to
play
me.
video games yet. My parents thought my intellect was too important to protect.
And had that work out. Or...
Well, you tell me, Brad. I'm on your podcast.
Yeah,
And yeah, I did pronounce that weird.
yeah, kind of fell out of your mouth sort of in a bad way.
Well, speaking of
Oh.
pre 9/11,
Didn't his dad die
The
in
king-
9/11?
The
Yeah.
pre 9/11 king himself.
God.
he was happy on this day.
The Duke,
Whoa.
the Duke of Staten Island
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Listeners, for those of you who can't see, it's Pete.
Yeah,
It's Pete Davidson. It
Pete
was his
Davidson.
4th
Same age
birthday.
as Chris.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
age as Chris.
I'm
Where
gonna
was I on
speculate.
9/11?
Yeah,
Who knows?
Do you think
Yeah.
like the hottest 4-year-old of all time wanted to date him when he was 4? Like, because that's sort of what
yeah,
his life continued to be. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
he's just always been on this path.
He was dating one of the Olsen twins
Wow.
on the day.
On the day, in a way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And in sport, keeping with the Canadian theme,
Ooh, damn,
the
yes.
Lakers did absolutely trounce
God, the Lakers were
Grizzlies.
the
incredible at this time.
Grizz. Vancouver 8-0 to start the season, huh?
This was
Yeah.
like the
Wow.
Were
the
you a
era of
basketball guy at this time,
basketball.
Thomas?
Yeah, this is the one era I really tuned
Yeah,
in for.
me too. I was a
It
big
was-
Kobe head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest
Oh,
in
yeah.
peace, Kobe.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that Vancouver had an NBA team.
They moved to Memphis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Oklahoma City, they hate Memphis because they got nothing else
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They gave us a tough time.
Okay, fair enough. You have some. I just want your browser window up there.
Yeah.
There's just a couple of tabs that were weird.
No, we don't got to talk about those.
Okay.
Kevin,
Go
can
on
you
then.
just mention a couple though?
There was just
'Cause
a
I didn't
MILF
really
Money
catch.
lyrics chat tab from genius.com is all.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys you'll
That was
learn
that
more
was in the
about
bookmark
that.
bar for some reason.
Yeah, once
We're having
episode
problems
8
with Fergie.
Oh, I
finally
see. We're
releases,
jumping. We're
yeah.
jumping ahead in time. Never mind. Disregard.
No,
got
we're actually
beef.
going back and forth in time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
it's been a whole thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a MILF Money saga.
Well, we're glad to be a small part of it now.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us be a part of
Vaguely
living
to it.
history.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't mean
Hell
to
yeah.
make you nervous, yeah,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
motherfucker. Well, let's actually finally get into this episode. What the Oops Boys came on
let's
for.
blast through it. Oops, all
Yeah,
Hill
yeah.
Kings. What episode are we talking about today,
This
Chris?
is season 2, episode 7, The Man Who Shot Cain Skretteburg.
The
It is
man.
written by Judge Daniels and Hardwick, the Golden Boys, of course. Directed by Wesley Archer. We know him. Directed by Monty Young, is a new King of the Hill director for us this season. Monty Young, you'll know from DuckTales. Spent a lot of time on
nice.
DuckTales.
I could DuckTales.
Some of his other notable projects. Let's see. He's doing some Avengers, Hulk stuff. That's his kind of current work. But
What?
Life is
Like
like
the
a
It's
movies?
actually-
Like the MCU
No,
movies?
yeah, no, the like children's side shows of the
Uh-huh.
MCU, like the Marvel Smash and all those kind of kid
yeah.
shows of the Hulk and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But he's going to do 37 eps on King of the Hill, and I think this
Wow.
is the first time we see him. So
Prolific.
As
Yeah.
director. Well,
so-
we'll get into it. But
yeah,
some
this
beautiful
episode
art
has
direction
been-
in this one.
Yeah.
This episode has been kind of chaos up
Mhm.
to this point. But before we get into the episode, I guess we should probably ask you guys what your familiarity with King of the Hill is.
Yes.
Were you fans? Are you fans?
Yeah, like King of the Hill was always on like after or before other shows that my family and brothers would watch. Like I kind of got into sort of King of the Hill, Simpsons, whatever was like primetime TV through I have 2 brothers, they're like 8 and 10 years older than me, and they were sort of like my initiation, and they like King of the Hill was sometimes too subtle for my family to really like appreciate as much, so it became more background noise. But I always found it really I really liked watching it. The pace is what I always found like fun. It just had like a gentler pace than I found a lot of the other stuff we were watching. So
Yeah.
that was something I don't know. Like I'm not an aficionado, but I've watched a number of episodes in lead up to this and sort of prep, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like it feels calm. It's calm funny, which I like.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh.
Thomas?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I too, I was a big fan of King of the Hill. I loved The Simpsons the most. That was my one true love. But of
My
course,
guy.
after every Simpsons episode
My
was
guy.
King of the Hill, and then sometimes they would go back to Simpsons, so you would kind of do there was the animation domination
A
era.
sandwich of sorts.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Fox, you would get all of these great cartoons. And I don't know, King of the Hill always made me feel smart when I was younger, like that it was because it was a little more subtle, it felt a little more mature somehow. Like maybe not as laugh out loud funny for me growing up
Yeah.
as The Simpsons was, but there was something going on, like the layer of irony that the show had, I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And
Um,
did the world feel fictional to thine eyes?
What?
What the fuck
do
does that
you
mean? did the world the world
Like-
of King of the Hill or the real world that
The
that-
world of King of the Hill,
Oh,
because
okay.
obviously you
Arlen,
guys,
Texas.
Yeah, you
also known
guys-
as America. Did
Well,
it
you
feel
guys-
real to you?
yeah, you didn't
Like,
have any experience with
thought-
Texas, yeah?
Yeah. So as a,
Yeah,
as a
did we-
Canadian,
Have you been to
think it-
Texas, T?
I have been to Texas a couple times, just to get an abortion there and then head out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Kind of stick it to them. I just try to go
You
where they want
personally
me.
got one?
Well, no, to help my ex, and like for
Yeah.
me, I just want to go where
Got
they want
it.
it the least. So, oh my god. So yeah, I think like there was some Canadian pride of like laughing at dumb Southerners. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, fuck
Nice.
'em.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
then sort of this, but also I think there was a part of me. Here's what I'll say: a couple weeks ago, I was doing a show for Drunk Shakespeare, which is my job, and I stripped pretty close to naked,
Mm.
and someone told me I had
Oh, what the fuck is that? It was
like
so loud.
someone making an espresso, and someone after the show told me that I had Hank Hill's ass, and that
dude.
that
Yeah, that's not
really
good.
hurt. I had to like play it off like I thought it was funny, but I like went home and thought
Yeah.
about it. It sucked.
Dude, I have
Yeah.
Hank's ass also. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that for
Um,
sure. That's funny
flat
that you
ass
bring up
boys.
the like getting to kind of
Yeah,
laugh
Brad's
at
got
the
a
silly
shell.
Americanishness of it. Because that's even like I'm from Oklahoma, which is
Oh.
touches Texas. So that's
the
also
tip.
kind of a part of the humor for us is more like being
Yeah.
able to laugh at yourself on it.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
pretty good stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, let's get into it. This one is going to open. Oh, well, before we even talk about the episode, we'll talk about the episode title. Thomas, you mentioned being a film buff. This episode gets its name from the classic 1962 Western film, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Thomas, is anybody else familiar with this one?
Jimmy Stewart, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne.
Yeah. It's a,
Uh,
it's a great movie.
partner.
Yes, Part
Right.
Pilgrim.
I've actually, despite my film enthusiasm,
You haven't
never
seen it?
seen this. Never
I have seen this
Yeah.
movie. You haven't seen this movie?
Yeah,
No, it's on
so-
the list. I gotta get to it.
It's a classic kind of paragon of the Western genre. It's John
Yeah.
Wayne in his prime. He's using the term pilgrims a lot, but
Yeah.
the loose structure.
Sure is.
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, the loose structure is there's kind of a young ruffian, I guess you'd call it a punk, who's terrorizing the town of Shinbone, and Tom Donovan and his old gang. The whole movie they essentially go back and forth to run these young punks out of
They
town.
play paintball.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there's some shooting, and then in the end, Liberty Valance, the man who's never been shot, spoiler alert, winds up getting shot.
Well, I guess you don't have to watch now, Thomas.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah,
It's
thanks a
long. I
lot.
tried to watch a little bit of it last night, and I just kept having to skip through. But one thing stood out to me: they kept beating the shit out of Jimmy Stewart for being a lawyer in the beginning,
That's
which is
awesome.
very funny.
They really run him through the
You're on
like-
board
Right.
with that.
His
Yeah.
stagecoach gets robbed, and then we'll move into the episode. But they like rob him, of course, and then they like are going through his stuff, and they're like, "Law books, look at this!" And they like,
What a
Fucking
loser.
nerd.
yeah, dude, they go over to him, and he's like, "You're a lawyer," and they just beat the shit out of him. It's pretty funny.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's where the episode gets its name from. But it's about teaching young punks a lesson, which will be the
And that's
theme,
really the crux of this episode.
but, yeah.
Yeah. Which is what I think I'm here to do as the oldest member of the show.
Yeah.
Give us a run
yeah.
for our money.
Here to teach you punks a lesson.
This one opens cold, so no theme song. It's the
Hot
boys in
open,
the
as we
alley.
say.
Yeah.
The boys are in the alley, working on Bill's leaf blower. It's not working. They get onto him for buying a Japanese leaf blower.
Mhm.
Common King of the Hill trope is to punch down
Run
on
down.
the Japanese, I guess.
Sure.
We like
But,
American manufacturing.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
kinda-
always wrong, right? They're like racist, but
Yeah.
their stuff sucks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very quickly, we're gonna get our first guest star of the
Yeah.
episode, and it's a pretty big one. So
Okay,
as the
I
boys are-
purposely didn't look this up because you
Yeah, you
told
didn't.
me there was a guest star.
Um,
So I don't know who this is.
So the old man comes into the alley
Pops.
and Pops is gonna get onto the gang. He's gonna say, like, would you cut that racket out? It's 5:30. This is
early, right?
Yeah, Jimmy. This is Jimmy Cummings. James Cummings. Yeah.
Coming.
Absolutely. Cummings.
And that's
Absolutely.
you don't know who that is, right, Brad?
I
You
have
just
no
it's
idea
just
who
like the
that
name
is.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's good.
Thomas, are you
Yeah.
familiar? Are you pretty well versed in your cartoonage?
I'm not. I don't know who else has he voiced.
Okay, so notably, James Cummings has been the official voice of Winnie the Pooh since 1988.
Shout out to Winnipeg, baby.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's who Winnie the Pooh's named after.
That's a
baby.
Canadian
Yes.
heritage moment,
Whoa, it's all
commercial
Canada.
moment. Remember that commercial? Remember that commercial, guys?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
He's
Canadian
also
heritage
good.
moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll put a
yeah.
screenshot of it on the
Yeah.
on the TV for you kids.
Yes. So he's Pooh Bear since 88. He's Tigger since 89. He's Taz since 91.
Wow.
Ah.
And he's Pete since 92.
Anybody could have
Still-
voiced Taz, right?
Yeah.
It's like just
I
a,
like that.
yeah.
There's a car in my neighborhood that has like 500 Taz stickers on it. Just like
Hell yeah.
every inch of it is covered in Taz stuff. It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Jim Cummings, though, pretty much a legend in the game of voice acting. He's all over a ton of different projects. He's very involved in video game stuff as well. Done a bunch of work on Kingdom Hearts, a bunch of work on Elder Scrolls. He does a bunch of work on Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate
Coming,
3.
ball.
Is he working?
He's still working now. Yes, he's
It's
did a bunch of voice
103.
work. Does a bunch of voice work for World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Nice.
Brad,
Yeah.
another role of his, Darkwing Duck. He
Ah.
is Darkwing Duck.
Oh shit.
He's also Cat from Cat Dog.
Oh,
What else?
What else is he?
Let's-
He
yeah,
is
shout out to this Cummings guy.
Yeah. let's
Dr.
just-
Robotnik.
Yeah.
He's basically
Hey.
done almost everything.
Damn.
But noted, yeah, Pops. So Jim Cummings there. Jim Cummings, absolute legend of animation and voice work.
And has he
still
appeared
working
on
today.
King of the Hill before? I guess not yet.
No, he does a couple of other episodes, but this is his
Okay.
first. He's
He
going to play.
He doesn't really get that much to do in this episode.
Yeah,
like,
kind of a
as guest
small
star.
role for such
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
guy.
We get Pops in the beginning and we get Pops at the end in
Yeah.
the third act. But yeah, Pops gets onto the boys here in the alley for making some racket, and the boys clap back at him.
Yeah.
They're talking about how he's like, "Have you ever heard of a rake?" They say we've seen it in the museum. So
Dang old
Yeah.
Smithsonian there.
Pops calls the guys punks. So Pops
Yeah.
calls them
Yeah.
punks as well. But
It's,
that's
it's a very
Pop
good cold
punks.
open to set up kind of the irony of the episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also think it's very funny that they are using this terrible leaf blower but laughing at him for
Yeah.
Suggesting a rake.
And also the leaves are already in a pile.
Yeah, like they don't. What's the purpose of the leaf blower? He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna wreck it.
Yeah. So that's our open. We cut to our theme song there.
Right. Oh, and they tell him to go watch Touched by an Angel, which I was curious,
Yes.
is that
Yes.
an old person show?
But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I-
What was Touched
guessing.
by an Angel?
I've never.
It
I've
was
never
it was
watched
like a vaguely Christian like family television show. I remember
Ah.
it being on in my house.
Live action.
It was live
Yeah.
action.
Mhm.
Yeah. Real angels in the show, or
A lot of real angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flapping
Yeah.
around, doing their little dastardly little deeds.
dastardly little
Yeah,
deeds.
touching people,
Vaguely
Uh,
Christian, and it sounds
pinching
like they were
'em,
molesting
yeah.
Big
people.
warning of
maybe.
Well-
pregnancies.
Yeah, I guess
Also
it is
vaguely Christian. Yeah, yeah.
Fair play.
So
She
Damn
touched
it.
my angel till Jim Cummings.
Joke of the episode.
Nice. Take
You
that.
already said that earlier, right, Brad?
Chris's
Been
joke sucks
dethroned.
compared to that.
that was great. I loved it.
Constantly announcing a new one every time.
You took my joke, but you took my title.
Your
Um,
throne.
So after the theme song, we're gonna get sick Joseph and Bobby crawling on the lawn. from
Yeah.
having
Chicken pox.
They're sick for such a short amount
They're
of
so
time.
sick.
It really
They're
seemed like the
just fine.
episode was going to be about, like, they were going to be incapacitated at the family fun place, and then
Yeah, why
instead,
did they write that in?
They were just fine.
I don't know. They needed a
Very
reason to go to
strange.
the family
Weird
fun
little
center.
anti-vax moment there for the show to be like,
Well, it is
Yeah.
Texas.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chris,
I like-
Chris, famously very anti-vaccine.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So there you are. Yeah, well, congratulations, Chris.
That's
there we
awesome.
go.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Through.
Famously, you said so. He has like he's sort of notorious for it, or
He's got like a
Yes.
whole platform. Yeah.
Mhm.
you could kind of see you like kind of being on like Rebel TV or
Yeah,
something.
it's
like,
the USA hat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is the USA hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good joke from Dale in this moment.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
need my seed to live on with
Yeah.
Joseph, the classic running joke.
Certain plans require additional gribbles.
Gribble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says.
Additional
Hank-
gribbles is a good
I
one.
think in the same scene he mentions that Nancy's back broke out in scratch marks.
Yes, yes. Mhm. That was one of my
He's
favorite
been getting a
lines
lot
of
of
the episode.
headaches.
Yes.
Yeah, she's been getting a lot of headaches.
Hank says the doctor says Bobby's lucky. In weaker children this could cause sterility, which I think is funny
Yes.
because the joke is that Bobby's always weak, but here Hank thinks he's strong enough to resist the
Yeah.
chickenpox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later, I was going to get to this, but Hank is mentioned as having a tiny urethra that
Yes.
was
Yes.
barely able to have children.
That's a
Such
through
a
line.
funny line.
Peggy
Oh,
loves to bring that
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's like
some-
ever since God cursed you with that tiny urethra of yours, it's like what an insane thing to write about a character
always-
and put on
she's
TV.
always kicking
to
him
put
down.
on. Yeah, I love it.
But there's a
So-
oh, we'll get to it. But sweet
Yeah.
moment between Peggy and Hank. And
Well, they fuck
yeah.
right after that.
Yeah, Hank is like, Bobby, so proud of you. What do you want to do? Bobby says fun center. So that's how they get stuck on the fun center. But the conversation is interrupted by loud rock and roll music coming from
Hooligan.
the alley.
Mhm.
Hank and Bobby are going to go investigate. They walk over into a dead yard with some rock music playing. And this is where we're going to see the main guest stars of the episode. Playing Kane and the Stubborn Stains are the boys from Green Day.
Yeah,
Super
oh,
exciting.
really?
yeah.
didn't-
I
man.
also
Wow.
didn't know that. That's
You
cool.
did not know
Interestingly
this?
enough, that Billy Joe Armstrong, the lead singer of Green Day, doesn't voice the lead character.
He does
He
not.
doesn't?
Yeah.
No.
Trey
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's
The
the
drummer.
Wait, there's
he
a guy
plays-
in Green Day named Trey Cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is.
That's
Trey Cool is who
awesome.
plays Kane. So the Green Day's drummer plays Kane. Billy
Yeah.
Joe, I think they just have some backup
Yeah, he's
some
like,
backup roles here.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
It's fun.
band is, I had a note, when they walk up and the band is playing, kind of good.
yeah.
It's
The
actually
songs in
decent.
this are pretty
The
fun.
lyrics,
Yeah.
"Thou shalt not do
Yeah.
this, thou
Yeah.
Thou
shalt
shalt
not
not
do that."
do that. Thou
Yeah.
shalt not vote. Yeah. The music is going to be pretty spot on, but yeah, there's just a scene here in the garage. Hank's telling him to, he wonders if this music is what killed the grass.
That was good. He loves his grass.
Bobby
He's kinda, like, he
immediately
can kind of write lame jokes in for Hank Hill endlessly.
Mhm.
It's sort of fun.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
always put these sort of
That's-
like they're
that's the,
funny.
that's
but
why
like
the show feels so modern, I think, is
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
like you're laughing at the anti-humor of like Hank's like lame lines all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's definitely got its own. He's got his own type of kind of cringe, kind of boomer
Yeah.
cringe. Maybe he's very
Yeah.
boomer pilled, boomer coded.
I can just see like a thumbnail of Hank Hill like boomer pilled in like big red
Drag
stamp font.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
In the garage here, Hank is gonna say like, "Nah, it's not that I don't like music," and they're gonna
Put the
mess with
chords
him
in
and
the
kind
right order.
Yeah. Hank
I lo-
immediately flips out seeing all the outlets in the wall, and he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You got 5
Yeah,
outlets
you're
in
gonna
here.
start a
Does,
fire.
does your
Yeah.
father know you're doing this?" And he's like, "My dad's dead." It's like, I'm sorry. Does your mother know you're doing this?
She's in jail.
For killing my dad.
Yeah.
I love how quickly the kid samples Hank's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like hitting him with sound bites. I love a
I
good
like Tony
sound bite.
Danza.
I
Yeah,
laugh
that
at Tony
kinda-
Danza. I laugh at Tony Danza. I laugh at Tony Danza.
That was good.
This
Yeah.
felt early too for like quick like loop sampling. I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
that was a thing in the
Ahead of
early-
their time.
kind of in
Yeah.
the 90s. My favorite joke maybe of the episode, almost not a joke, but the thing that made me laugh the hardest is Bobby sort of admires Kane
Yes.
Yeah.
and says, "You're
That
you're the guy who
stupid little
you put don't on all the stop signs."
Yes.
And Kane-
He goes,
Kane-
"Peace."
and then Bobby just says, "Wow." So impressed by him saying peace.
I mean, he does have a rat tail. That's cool
Yeah.
as shit.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
very
Speaking of
90s.
being a rat,
Yes.
Yeah.
a rat
Sort of-
with a tail is
sort of-
Kane. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
unlike
Hank
me.
Hank is
Right.
gonna announce that he's gonna count to 3, and the band immediately goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It kind
That's
of
a
breaks
good
into
one.
the
That's
fun
good.
center riff.
Yeah.
Fun center, fun center, fun
Oh,
center,
yeah.
fun center.
Yeah.
And
So-
they
And
do,
Bobby's
like, a
singing that.
audio
Mhm.
match cut, with Bobby
Yeah.
continuing
Yeah.
in the next.
I
That's
liked
great.
that. Yeah, they're
I
walking up to the
honestly
fun
like
center.
the direction of this episode. Like specifically, there's a lot of creative. It's very cinematic. As far like which is I not something I would have attributed to like a lot of 90s cartoons. So
Mhm.
Yeah, there was like a
Maybe-
huge step up after season 1, it feels like.
Yeah.
Every episode
Yes.
we watched in season 2 has been impressive, I would
yeah,
say.
like
Definitely.
the scale and like just the way, like there are just a lot of like interesting shot compositions. There's like a crazy sequence in this episode,
Yeah.
but we're not there
Oh
yet.
my god, yeah, later
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Save it. We're at the
Yeah,
fun
shut
center
my-
right
yeah.
now. We're at
Yeah,
the fun
sorry.
center.
At the
Don't blow
fun
your
center,
load.
Fun center.
Fun center. Fun center.
Oh, don't.
Peggy and Luann are
Jesus.
playing. Peggy and Luann are playing Chuck Norris Ultimate Head Kick.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
like what a
fun.
weird, like mostly visual gag, right? They don't talk
Mhm.
about it.
No,
It's
Yeah,
just
I,
what
I
they
didn't
do.
even catch that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the guys are out on the driving range, targeting the ball guy,
Yeah.
which is
Yep.
going to come back.
Yep.
Bobby and Joseph want to go paintballing.
Mhm.
They come back eventually because they have been bullied by
Yes.
Kane and the stubborn.
But they're kind of
Stains.
stoked on it.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
like,
they
"All
are.
right,
Bobby's
man."
like, it was Kane's Skretteburg. You fucking made me eat leaves, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
It's
I've
simping
never
for him.
played paintball in my entire life.
was
I
gonna
have
say,
painted some
Overrated.
balls in my life. I'll tell you that.
Okay, man.
Sorry, I meant that I've played paintball,
Oh,
and
okay.
I I
'cause
have.
You were pretty into it. You had your.
I was
own
into
gear and stuff.
airsoft. I did a lot of
Oh, okay.
airsoft,
Ah,
okay.
but I did paintball as well.
The
for,
try harder version of paintball.
yeah, the much
yeah.
worse, cringier, shittier version.
Yeah. I
which
did
was-
airsoft once, and
Yeah.
it was in high school when I didn't have any
Yeah.
friends. I was invited to a party where
By
they were
who?
playing airsoft by some guys in my class. Shout
Oh,
out
yeah.
Rick Southern.
Yeah, okay.
and it
Yeah,
was
he's
kind
known
of
him.
it was kind of just
Yeah,
a
you went to
ploy
WWE high school
for them to corner me and shoot me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about round 2 then? Let's organize something with Rick Southern and let's go fucking pop some BBs in his
Sounds
ass.
like
I
a
think he
King of the
might be
Hill
dead,
character.
actually.
Oh shit! I'm
He-
so
he
sorry.
OD'd the next year.
No, he shot me with an airsoft gun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
Ricky
went paintball for
Southern.
the first time
Ricky
last
South.
year for
Oh,
a friend's
what?
bachelor party.
Oh yeah.
And it was fun initially, though the very first hit I took, it went over the mask, hit me on the crown of my head, and like rang my bell and made me feel like, whoa, what the hell? And then there was one where we played
Shell
where you
shock.
had to like kick a ball across the center line of the field, and the ball
That's
just got
kickball.
yeah. The
that's
ball
not
got
paintball.
stuck in like this narrow alley where the only way you could kick it was to run straight and just get wailed on by the other team.
Nice.
So we
Oh.
took so many hits. At the end of the final game, I was crawling towards the base trying to be secret for like 5 minutes after it had ended. And they
That's
were
so
calling
funny.
my name and I didn't answer. I was like the Japanese soldier that didn't know the war had ended. Like it was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hank
Awesome.
is gonna go over to accost Kane, and we see Kane chatting up Luann.
Yeah.
Very funny. Kane's like,
Risen
I got
her
my own
down.
band, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of working.
This
Yeah,
is a
a little
great
bit.
Xerox of you, she says.
Yeah.
Yes.
about his band flyer.
Hank is gonna challenge Kane and the boys to some paintball.
Yeah.
This is where we get Kane Skretteburg's never been shot.
Yeah.
Hank thinks he's up for the challenge because he's a finely tuned ex-high school athlete.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
a
says,
great line.
He says,
Yeah.
I spent 4 years holding guys like you upside down in toilets.
Over
To
toilets.
which Kane immediately snaps back. One of my favorite lines was, I don't care how many guys you held in the restroom.
It's really good. Have you guys ever been swirlied?
No.
No, there was
just
I
me.
went to a so you were swirlied?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it by the same guys who shot you with the BB guns?
It actually was.
What's
Rick Southern's
state
just
did
bullying you.
No, yeah. It was one of the other guys. It wasn't Rick Southern himself.
Ricky
Yeah.
South, we call him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky South.
Shout out.
Was it a
Yeah.
clean toilet or was it like a pee-pee?
It was a school toilet, so
Oh,
no.
No, not that
Yeah.
clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
terrible. There was like a water fountain. I went to a really weird private high school, and there was like a water fountain for like wash your hands in the center of the bathroom, which was in the basement of the building. That was like this weird, massive communal bathroom for all the boys to use. It was a boys' school, and when you'd go like step on it, and then it was like a circle, and it would like fountain out the water for you to wash your hands. But guys would always just piss in it for fun, and
Oh
like
my
it
God.
became like a weird like thing to like throw dudes on there on their birthdays and shit. It was like not
Oh my
cool.
God.
So yeah, that never happened to me because my birthday was in the summer. But yeah, yeah,
Kept
I
you
was also the
safe.
one throwing the people in, but it's still
We want to bully Kevin, but
Yeah.
he's a Leo.
can't get me. They're grabbing me from home.
He's a
That's
fire sign.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Out on the paintball field, Hank is going to tell the guys to only talk if it's something important, and this is
Yeah.
going to bring up one of my favorite minor jokes of the episode,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
Bill talking like an insurance commercial.
Yeah.
He's so
He
glad
said,
he
"Only
opened
talk if
that
it's
mail.
important." It's, I got Liberty Mutual or whatever it was. He's like, at
Good
the
thing
end
I
of his
opened it
spiel,
immediately.
Yeah.
Bill was like, "Are you going to do it, Bill?" And he's like, "I can't afford not to."
And then immediately rips his pants when he tries
Yeah.
to bend over. They all
crouch down.
hear it,
Yeah.
and
They
they're
come-
they're
yeah.
caught.
They're
I
covered
also-
in paint.
I also
They-
like Hank's line, "Let's paint some ass." That's a
Yeah.
great one. And
Let's
my
paint some
maybe
ass.
despite the epic visuals coming up, the look of them squatting and holding the paintball guns
Yes.
and
Yeah.
running is such a funny visual. They look
It
so
is.
and it's so
Yes.
accurate to the hunched over like
Yeah.
squat run that you do.
When you're
Yeah.
playing paintball, oh, we gotta
When
be
you
so
play paintball,
tactical.
it is like I remember every time I've done it, I've probably done it like 6 times in my life. The legs are the things that you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
this is the fucking leg workout
Yeah.
because you're
Mhm.
always like just constantly
Crouching.
crouching. It's terrible. Yeah.
But yeah, the boys get captured and they actually get rounded up and executed in
Yeah.
front of the
Yeah.
rest of
Yeah.
the golfers.
In
which is
front of
kinda
and
funny.
Bobby. There is a shot
That's my
here.
dad.
They cut to Bobby and Joseph getting ice cream, and Bobby
Yeah.
says, "That's my dad." They reused this shot, this
Yeah.
exact
Oh,
shot
'cause there
later
is
At
on.
the end
another-
of the episode,
Yeah.
right?
Of the
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch
Yeah.
that.
We'll talk about it later, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's an inconsistency in the episode.
It's
Interesting.
weird. Yeah.
I also
but yeah,
love Hank saying they're in the lead now, but we're coming
Yeah.
back as
coming
they're getting
back.
executed.
It's like a back and forth type of thing.
Yeah.
the
You're on
ball
your
guy
knee.
is the ball guy is also gonna laugh and take
Yeah.
pity on them. Which
He's
I
like,
think is
"That's
funny.
so embarrassing."
As he's getting pinged on by like
Yeah.
these balls.
Yeah, but that's our that's the first act. That's where our first commercial
Yeah.
break is at.
Commercial break.
We come back from the commercial break,
These
and Hank,
cues.
we get Hank's first dream sequence of the episode. He's
Mm.
gonna have 2, but this first one doesn't go super very long. Let's see. Hank's just kind of woken up by getting shot with a paintball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
goes
this is
out
another
to the alley.
instance
Sorry, go ahead.
It's reusing
I think they reused-
footage.
Yeah.
And I just fun fact I learned from Simpsons commentaries that like because you had to get an episode to a certain length. when
Yeah,
they
the
used,
21-minute.
the like
thing.
repeat dream sequence where you hear a line you just heard a few times or you show a few seconds of what you just saw was to like fill the perfect
Yeah.
time for episodes. Yeah.
Lisa needs
Nice.
braces.
Yeah.
Dental plan.
Yeah. Nice. Well, the boys are all jumpy in the alley the next
Yeah.
morning after getting
Everyone's
shot.
like traumatized. They look like
They're
the
turning on
paintball
each
wounds
other.
are terrible
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
They've
Like
got
those
welts.
bruises look awful.
Mhm.
And they're not even drinking Alamo beer.
No.
No. You
Hank's,
want a cold one? Here's a cold one.
You want a cold one? You want a cold one? Well, I hope you're happy because now there's no cold ones left for me.
Open
And what's
your
the-
eyes.
What's the beer called? It's
You're
called like
holding the beer.
it's called like
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Yeah, Guatemala.
They got
Yeah.
Mexican beer.
Yeah.
Well, he asks, Guatemala, who bought this? Bill was like, it wasn't me. And Hank is like, well, Bill buy beer? He's too cheap.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
Bill gets upset at them for never supporting them when his wife kicked him out for being dependent and lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys didn't find
That's-
me a new one.
That's a great
Yes.
line.
Also
Yes.
real as fuck. Like sometimes Bill is just like, "Oh my god, he's so insanely depressed."
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yes.
man is sad.
It's extremely sad. And it's also funny that he then puts that on his friends for not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
their
Their
fault.
fault.
Here's
dependent on them.
here's where we get the charades line
Mhm.
reference from the Touch by an Angel episode at the top of this pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dale says, how long can we keep up this charade? Boomhauer's like, dang old, now charades. Yeah, I love this scene in the alley. Hank is going to go back into the house. Luann is putting Bobby's hair into a little ponytail.
He's getting a rat tail going.
Yeah, a little rat tail so that he can look like Kane.
So small. They're listening to Green Day when they come in too. Green Day's playing on the TV.
nice.
I didn't
Oh,
catch
really?
that.
I didn't catch that.
I can't remember what song it is, but it's a Green Day song. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
catch.
Bobby having such short hair and this like
Yeah.
as small as humanly possible, like
Just the
pencil
nub.
eraser in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have one of those going right now.
I so badly want that to be true. It can't because you clearly have a fade, but
No, it is.
are you gonna prove it or
I'll send you a picture later.
why don't you? But we're on
Of
camera.
your-
Yeah,
right now.
moving on though.
What we got?
What do you? Okay.
But yeah, like
Just say- but like. okay,
so
you
then
pick a hard one.
To
so
see the
then-
back of Brad's head, you have to subscribe to the Patreon.
and my feet.
right, of course.
His feet are on there too. Bobby says that Kane says Bobby can be a groupie.
Oh, yeah. You
Hank-
mean roadie?
Hank, I hope so.
Must I hope
God.
to God he did.
We cut over to Hank and Peggy in bed. Hank's got his glasses off.
Yeah.
And Kay's
Pretending to
struggling
not
read.
be old.
Peggy's
Such
just
a
like-
weird line to draw. Like,
He's
Yes.
like, I only need these to drive, and
it's not in reference to
To
anyone. No one
drive
ever made
and-
fun of him for having glasses. It was
Yeah.
never like.
He's feeling the stain of being old, but yeah, he says he only needs them for driving, running, and jumping, not reading.
Yeah.
Only old people need him for
Speaking
reading.
of Super Mario, right? Like,
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
And to be clear, Brad, you're old as hell, right? You're the only one on the show right now with glasses.
no.
my glasses are
Holy-
somewhere
You
else.
probably
man.
need those, right? Don't like what are they just? You're squinting so much now. Like,
you shouldn't be
you-
confused. You still
Uh,
know
you
how
look
to talk.
Oh yeah, you forgot what was happening. Like you're in a
He
different
just ate a
world.
sour warhead.
Yeah. You look
Uh,
like the lemon tree face from The Simpsons.
You look like Hank squinting. Peggy is like, Hank, I am giving you a look. And Nephews, we got a Peggy's feet notice here.
Yeah.
Flag it.
This is
red
a
alert,
this
red
is
alert.
a recurring. We have a suspicion on the show that Mike Judge may or may not have a foot fetish.
and I
because
think Hank
of-
definitely does.
I didn't
Well,
even
yeah.
notice this.
Yeah,
Okay.
seeing Peggy's feet get painted puts Hank into kind of like a fever.
That's what
Oh, yeah, I
starts
get
the
it.
second
situation.
dream is the
Yeah.
color of her
And
toenails.
Peggy has huge feet. That's
Yes.
also
Canonically big feet, yes.
There is an
Oh.
episode where she kind of starts an OnlyFans, pre-OnlyFans
Mhm.
for her
Right.
feet later on.
Yes. But seeing Hank puts on his glasses, sees Peggy painting her toenails, and the color of the paint triggers the main dream sequence. So Hank and the
Insane
boys are
vision.
going to go through a crazy kind of flashbacky.
This shit was
Um,
wild.
Yeah.
This shit, yeah, they're getting tormented by Kane and his boys. Everyone's got
Yeah,
some
that's-
big mouths, like their teeth get huge.
More
Yeah,
people
the-
would talk about the man who shot Liberty Valance if they included a sequence like this
The
in the man who
green,
shot.
Yes.
it's sort of like the Dumbo, like flat that
Mhm.
dream sequence, but the green Bobby laughing is so
Pink
Yeah.
elephants on
yes,
parade.
And then
yeah.
his teeth getting huge
Yeah.
and his mouth like getting big and terrifying.
Be a good
Oh.
tattoo.
Oh yeah, just that on your back,
Yeah.
a huge back
Full
piece.
full
Big
back
mouth
piece.
Bobby.
If any of the nephews want to fund that for me, I would
I
get it.
have a tattoo of kind of the back of Bobby's head around my crotch, so my dick looks like his rat tail. It's
Brad again, close to the camera, squinting so hard.
not my dick is
I'm
not. on
trying to
screen.
see it. Are you showing it right now?
No.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
Oh,
We're
my
gonna get
Lord.
deplatformed.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
This fever dream
Your fault.
wakes Hank up, and Peggy's like, "What is it?" And Hank's like, "It's those punks." And Peggy's like, "Well, tell him to knock it off." And Hank's like, "Well, I've already got my slippers off. Why don't you tell him?" So
I've
funny.
sad
100% done
old
this
man
before.
moment.
I've 100% sent Moret to go talk to hooligans instead of me
Oh,
doing it.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah,
Really? Do you
because
feel
I
like...
get angry. I'm like, I'm gonna fight him.
Mm.
Oh, you're like
Yeah.
quick to
You're
yeah.
like, babe, you don't know how strong I am.
Yeah,
I
right.
kill these kids.
I don't
Yeah,
want to pop off.
exactly.
Babe, you know how
Exactly.
I get. If I get out there, they're finished.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to jail if I go out there.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm
Uh,
getting deported.
Yeah.
Well,
Back to
Peggy
Canada.
Peggy is gonna hype Hank up here, and this sets up a
Yes.
real nice fun moment. So, Peggy is like, Hank, where is your bravery? You're the man who won the Strickland Blue Flame of Valor Award. You're the man whose sperm struggled through that narrow
That
urethra
tiny
God
hole.
cursed you with to create our wonderful son. And she's like, and you drove raccoon after raccoon out of the attic with
This is a great
nothing
joke.
but a broom handle as a pillowcase. Yes.
And then they fuck.
Yes. She's like, the Hank Hill I know can do anything. And Hank is like, anything? Which I think this is the first time I feel like we have seen actual real physical intimacy from them
Yeah.
in
Oh,
one or
really?
two seasons.
There's one
There's
in
another one?
season 1 where Hank throws out his back and they're on the ground and then he's
Oh,
like,
that's
"We're
true,
down
in the
here
living room.
anyway." And then
Yes.
they do a little boning.
Yeah, nice.
Okay,
Well, this
all
is
right.
the second. This is
Brad
the
has an
second boning.
encyclopedic knowledge of the sexual escapades of
Yeah.
Hank and Peggy Hill, right?
You started
We're
the
tracking
Mr.
'em.
the Mr. Skin page of every time.
I admin that page actually.
Hank's ass.
Yeah.
Well, the noise is going to wake Bobby up, and Bobby is scared that the raccoons are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good.
they are.
It's very funny. So canonically, Peggy and Hank sound like raccoons in an attic.
Yeah.
Right.
Hilarious.
Always
Uh,
nice though to show like a marriage that functions, like it's not just bits, but they have a
Right.
little moment of real.
Yeah, you're a
intimacy.
big
Mhm.
anti-divorce guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really believe. Well, it's like you said, till death.
That's
do us
because of the
part, and
Catholic
that's kind of
stuff, right? Because
Well,
Yeah.
I'm Jewish, as we've established.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Not, but
Yeah.
Have you been paying attention at all, Chris? You're
Thomas,
famously
you
Catholic.
Famously
hear your
Catholic
parents
and
fucking all the
from-
time, right?
Historically, yeah, my parents had some loud sex. We don't need to get into that.
is that on the Oops All Pods? Is there an episode
No,
where you
we
guys
haven't.
reference
Even
that yet?
there,
No?
I didn't feel safe talking about
Okay.
it. So I really don't
Do
on
not
this.
come.
So
Yeah,
let's
yeah. But here we are. Do
move
not
on.
I'm gonna
come.
come.
So what then? Hank fixes a car or some shit. What happens?
Yeah, yeah. Hank wakes up in the morning feeling good, and he's gonna rally the boys to go and challenge.
He's got that
Kane and the
post-nut
stubborn
clarity.
States. Yeah, dude. He's got it.
It's not clarity.
He's full of charisma. He's full of
He's
full of
rizzed
power in the
up,
morning.
yeah.
So yeah, the boys are gonna go over and challenge Kane and the Stubborn Stains to a rematch. Sorry, pops, my car's broke down. Very funny. Them fixing the car
Yeah,
to then
for free to
re-challenge
help
them.
out.
Yeah.
Which like I thought that could have been a really fun, like a funnier scene if they expanded it where they like dropped the beef and they like actually became friends, and then like once they slammed the hood, then they're like, all right, it's back on. But that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite parts. I think was
That's
them
great.
fixing the car.
I love that they fixed the car. They're like, let's go do this, and then immediately cut to Hank's truck.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like they got
covered
his
in paint.
truck.
Honestly,
Mhm.
it's like I do think a lesser show would just not have done that, and I think it's like it is a testament to like the quality of the writing a little bit, that like those characters stay true to like their dad energy still,
Yeah.
and then like I like that part a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then
And
just
then they're-
cutting to them immediately being defeated was
Yeah,
really nice.
just fucking wrecked.
And immediately conceding to being old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the dark night of the soul. Like,
There's also
Yeah.
it's like if Hank having fucked doesn't fix this, what?
Mhm.
Like,
yeah,
Not
they
even
have to have
post
eaten
nut
one less
clarity can save you.
from teens.
Um,
There's
The
some
only
nice
hope we have.
music
yeah.
going over. And we gunned the last one down.
yeah,
Hiding
behind
behind the snack
stand. Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's all these fun because I watch a lot of stuff with captions on, so you get like lots of
Yeah, me
weird
too.
little like bits like that where it just tells you all these like silly lyrics. I keep
Nice.
thinking you're like slamming a Heineken.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm like,
it's
He is,
Tobo.
Yeah,
yeah,
Tobo Chibo.
Nice.
I don't know what that
Chico.
is.
it's a southern delicacy.
Topo
Yeah.
Gijo was like a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff in
Yeah.
Canada.
It's bubbly water.
Yeah,
I've
okay,
never heard
different.
of Tobo Gijo, but
Yeah,
best
Tobo
believe there will be
Gijo.
a picture on the screen of Tobo
Yeah.
Bibo.
I don't know. You keep changing what it's called,
Yeah.
so probably not, right? You're gonna struggle.
it's Topo Chico.
Shubo.
That's after the boys getting defeated, that's our second commercial break, and that's the second act.
Yeah.
And then
Right,
they're
uh,
old.
Yep.
And
Then we're
they're
in.
old.
Then we're into the alley, and we're going to see the resurgence of Pops. So we get a
Pops is
standard,
back.
yep. Dale says yepper, which is definitely an old guy thing here.
Yepper.
And then Pops is at the end of the line and he says, yes, sirree. Yeah, they say, yeah, we're old. Bill slips back into the insurance commercial.
Colonial Valley Insurance.
Colonial Valley, that's who it is.
Colonial Valley is such a great name.
Yeah, this was, I think, my favorite like running little side plot is Bill talking about the life insurance
Yeah.
the entire time. And Hank says, well, it's never too early to start thinking about dying.
When you're gonna die. Yeah.
Right then, Kane and the boys are gonna drive by in a sick little lifted truck.
This
and
is a great bit.
They
This-
could drive
yeah.
by it.
Yeah, they get Bill right in the dome.
Fucking pop him in the head. And he just
Headshot.
falls down.
You just gotta shake your fists at him.
Yeah. They won't come back.
They won't come back.
And then they
Looks like they want
immediately
another
go
coat.
back.
Looks like they want him another coat. Yeah,
They get
drive
Bill in
back
the
by.
head a second time.
Mhm.
So cruel.
Yeah.
I
thought you
another
said they
just
wouldn't come
small
back.
like visual detail from the episode, the welts that they have after
Yeah.
each paintball match are so like gross and
Well,
painful looking.
Even when
And,
they
like, to
turn,
scale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like just the scale of their animated bodies and stuff, like they're all bigger than like the way their nose protrudes out of their face.
Uh-huh.
It's like a
Yeah.
huge welt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
nice touch.
Yes. So Pops says, like you can't understand him, you just shake your fist at him. And Hank is like, well, we're gonna do what Pops couldn't do. We're gonna get inside the mind of a
Understand.
teenager.
Yeah.
And I think it's right at the end here after they decide this plan here, Pops, we get a funny line as we cut out of this scene. Pops says, who's Pops?
Yeah.
He does.
They've never bothered to ask his name.
He does. Yeah. We don't know his name. And he doesn't think they're talking about them because these, they're just now part of the old collective.
yeah.
Now, I
Uh,
think that this whole idea of trying to understand the mind of a teenager is maybe what dates this episode the most.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
how would that translate to today? Kids
Mhm.
aren't driving around with paintball guns. They're
Yeah.
No.
they're typing on their iPads.
They're in
and
the
this
comments
is-
section of Oops All Segments videos
Yeah.
telling us we look like fucking losers.
Yeah,
That's what
they-
the kids these days
They
are.
would be cyberbullying Hank.
Our-
today.
our- Our show's not
Yeah.
popular enough to have teenage bullies in our comment section.
Yeah.
Yet. So if you are
we
a
just have
teenage
Chris's
bully,
5-year-old nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. If this is the type of comment participation that you need, is please
Come
get that
bully us.
engagement up. Come
Please.
bully the shit out of us. Yeah.
We love it.
come
Yeah.
on, we need the algorithm needs motion. It doesn't matter. Come bully
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuel for the fire.
So the guys are going to be doing reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Bill, is witnessing some teens laugh at him shave another teen's head in the army
Yep, they're
barber
cruel.
shop. Yeah, he writes down teens can be so cruel.
Such a stupid, obvious, like, how has he never experienced this in his
He
life?
just shot him in the
It's
head
Yeah,
yesterday.
He has experienced this before because earlier in this season and in episode 8 where the MILF money
Yeah.
controversy is at, Dooley bullies him.
Dooley. Yeah.
You know,
Our
the-
favorite character.
You
The
know,
monotone kid.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
He
You're divorced.
your wife left you. He says it straight to Bill's face.
Yeah. That kid's goaded.
Hank goes to Megalo Mart and is spying on Luann and Buckley.
Yeah.
Great Luann scene here. She tells Buckley not to worry. She's just going to the concert as Kane's special friend, not his
Right.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
He asked me to bring a friend for the drummer.
The
Yeah,
drummer.
that's gonna be
And Buckley's
Buckley.
like,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Cool.
I
And
love
then,
how much they're kind of like peppering in Luann and Buckley because in the last
Mhm.
season they broke up.
Oh.
And this season is famously the season that ends with the Megalomart exploding
Mhm.
Oh, right.
and someone dying.
Mhm. Yeah, there was also some nice Buckley last episode, but yeah, Luann is like, "Oh, stock boy, we need some sugar in aisle 3."
he just
Uh,
falls down.
yes.
A whole pile of shit.
Absolutely, like would break his neck under
Yeah.
all those
Yeah.
big cans.
For
falling
sure.
Off
It
a
looks
ladder.
like he hurt himself bad, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the other falling accident that happens in this episode? There's one later on.
Yes,
But-
there. And Hank takes notes. I think he's like, they
Yeah.
can be nervous around girls.
Clumsy around girls.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
Dale is at a burger joint, just absolutely spraying chemicals all over people's food.
You sprayed my veggie wrap with
Poisoned my
Yeah.
veggie wrap. And he writes down, teens show no respect for a man in uniform.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good because that's like the essential third clue that is just based on him
Mhm.
doing something awful to them.
And just his like needless respect for himself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And those are the tools that they're going to use to undo these teens. They are going to use teens can be so cruel. Teens are clumsy around girls, and teens don't respect a man in uniform. That's going to be
Yeah.
the tools they use to
Yep. Final showdown.
final
Yeah.
showdown. The boys get their intel. They're going to go to the garage for one final throwing of the gauntlet. They tell Kane, let's make this worth it for both parties. They bet the
In
stubborn
order to have a
stance is
discussion, they shut off
amplifier.
the power to the garage too.
Mhm.
Oh,
They
yeah,
go in,
that's
they
right.
kill the power to the garage. Yeah.
Solid
Mhm.
move.
Yeah, they really put this final showdown, but they offer up Bill's leaf blower,
Yeah.
which
And
is pretty
you can tell
funny.
that they didn't clear that with Bill. Like the
Yeah.
reaction
Yeah.
on his face, he's like, "Wait, what?"
Wait,
Yeah.
my leaf blower?
My
Yeah.
Also,
shitty
it's
leaf
such a
blower?
shitty,
Yeah, like
unusable
my
Yeah.
piece of
blower.
shit. Why the hell do the kids agree to this? Like,
Yeah.
what
He
the
loves
fuck?
that thing.
I
I
guess they
thought
thought they
about
were gonna
that.
kill them. I guess they
Yeah.
thought they were gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were just so
It's
confident
like,
in it.
what's the
Yeah.
point? They don't want the leaf
Free
blower.
leaf blower, man. You
Yeah.
wouldn't take a free leaf blower if you
Not
were
that
offered?
leaf blower. It sucks. And
Well,
no.
they don't know. They didn't know.
Yeah, I guess, but like, it's not free. You have
But
to
do you have
fight
something against leaf blowers, dude?
Why are you taking this so personally, Brad?
I
It's
just think that if you're gonna get a leaf blower for free,
I feel like you got a free leaf blower on some dubious circumstance.
maybe.
Something, and you're like defending it. It feels a
Yeah.
little bit like somebody gave. Maybe you got a leaf blower for some sort of crime you committed or something.
Mhm.
I
not
may
sure.
have robbed a Home Depot.
Whoa! So you didn't get a leaf blower for a crime. You stole a leaf blower, and so you didn't get it for free. You just
Allegedly.
yeah. Don't do the look now, right?
This is satire. This is all satire. None of this is
Yeah.
legally
Yeah.
binding.
In Minecraft. I only did that in Minecraft.
In
yeah, in a
Minecraft.
Minecraft leaf blower.
Yeah.
So it's paintball time, baby. The game breaks out. Boomhauer climbs a tree.
hmm
Bill is going to be walking around kind of doing his insurance sales voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, where are you?
He's just the decoy.
He's the
Yeah.
decoy.
Right.
Doesn't know why he had to be the
And
decoy.
Funny line
He-
before this, they'll pick on the slowest, heaviest.
Yeah.
The important
Dumbest.
thing is you were
Yeah.
right, Bill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just about to call him a moron.
Yeah. So they use Bill and his faked injury to lure one of the teens out. So that's our teens can be so cruel
Yeah.
Yeah.
hit. Dale is going to sneak up behind a guy, and he's got a voice recording of Luann's voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just says like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Luann." And the guy's like, "You talking
That would
to
work
me?"
on me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the teens get nervous around girls is what befalls the other teen. Dale
Is
is
your heart racing? Are you upset?
yes.
Yes and
Um,
yes.
I've been upset.
Dale is going to accidentally shoot Boomhauer out of the tree for our other major falling accident of the
Yeah.
episode.
Dang
Oh,
ol'
yeah.
dang ol' frag me.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. What I got
Train-
in friendly fire, man.
They
Yeah.
trained me too well. Is
It trained me too well.
I love Dale's like celebratory dance that he
Yes,
goes to.
yeah.
He says beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Hank goes full Rambo.
Yeah.
We get a nice classic he's going this way, he's going that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of chase scene plot where
Yeah.
somebody's entering this door as somebody's exiting that door. It's a real
Mhm.
nice sequence there. But what's going to come down to is Kane is going to sneak up to who he thinks is the bald guy and ask if there's been a pudgy guy with glasses who came over here. And Hank is in the bald guy outfit, and he gives Kane some false directions, and he says, "By the way, young fellow, you lose," or whatever, and just
Yeah.
slow motion
Yeah.
shoots
Some-
Kane
the
Skretteburg.
And then they
birds
cut to the
flying
birds.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. the
They
crows in the
also,
spot.
this is where they reused that clip of Bobby
Right,
and
yes.
Joseph.
Yeah.
And it's
His
the
is
exact
bigger than
same
mine.
clip as before. And yeah, Bobby says, "Hey, his scoop's bigger," but you can tell that he's saying, "Hey, that's my dad
Yeah.
over there." It's the exact same clip.
It's the
Nice.
same
And
clip.
also, Hank mentions like whenever they're at the paintball place, they're like, "How did you know we'd be here or whatever?" And Hank says, "Oh, it's a school day, isn't it?" So
Yeah.
Bobby should be in school. Why
Yeah.
is Bobby at the paintball place right
Joseph
now?
was there
Kinda
too. Yeah.
sad.
And
Yeah.
Joseph,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you gotta. I like that you're very concerned about Bobby's education, Brad. It's important that
someone has to be.
I just think that a boy needs to be in school.
that makes sense. I see that. I see that in you. I see that. You know, you kind of have like substitute teacher energy right now.
Yep,
You're
I used to be one.
Wait. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your neck okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have sub energy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Hey, got him. Hell yeah. We get one.
That's why he gets her to go yell at people instead of him.
Yeah. We get one nice little scene at the end here. The Stubborn Stains are playing without an amp, you know, and they just say like, this really sucks.
Also, the drums are so quiet. What the fuck?
Well, they need an
They were
amp.
amplified.
Yeah, it's electric drum.
Yeah, I guess.
There's a pounding on the garage door, and they open it up to see a
great.
flaming
Bag
bag of
shit.
poo.
Classic. Have you guys done this?
Which is a callback. I've never done
It's
this.
a
with
callback
someone
earlier,
else,
yeah. They mention it, and it's a classic
I
trope.
think I have done this to somebody.
This
I
is
was a bit of a
classic.
shit in my younger
When
years.
when you guys asked which episode we wanted to do, and I thought about this one, this is the line from the episode that's still like stuck in my brain years later. It's like the final joke from Pops, which is such a great line.
Yes. Kane comes out kind of like, you know, the roles have been flipped. He's like, good Lord, that could start a fire. Now that he's
We
been
have to step
bested,
on
he's
He's
kind of
old
been,
now.
Yep. So
Yeah.
he starts to stomp it out, and we see the guys hiding behind a bush, and Pops is over there. They're laughing. He goes, and what's he doing now? And they're like, he's stomping it. And he goes, there's duties in there, right?
Yeah, Pops.
Is that the line you were talking about, Thomas?
Exactly. There
And
sure
there's-
is, Pops.
There
Like
sure
he
is.
barely understands what's happening. He has to confirm.
Well,
Great.
he can't see that far, but
Yeah.
he knows
Yeah.
they're doing the duty bag prank, and Pops was stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts too, is that ending.
It's a great joke.
Yeah, it was a great
That's
overall
it.
ep. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You guys want to
We
step
got
into the
through it.
alley?
Should we
Let's
do
step into
our
the alley.
final little segment here?
Step into the alley.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
Whoa. Doing it.
It's
So
synced up with
this-
Chris.
This is the segment of the show where we step out back and we crack open some Alamo beers.
Okay.
We rank the episode out of a 6-pack of Alamos. 6
Mm.
obviously being the highest, 1 being the lowest. How many beers would you pound down for this episode?
Pounding down the
Who
king's
goes
I'll
first? Do we kinda-
I'll go ahead and
Go
kick it off.
Yeah.
For me, this is a solid 5 for me, for
He's
sure.
pounding his fiver.
It's
a
it's
big-
definitely 5.
Fiver's heavy. Fiver's a heavy.
It's a 5 for me because it's so guest star heavy.
Mm.
I mean, you've got the obvious flash of the Green Day, and then you've got a legend like Jim Cummings in it, and it plays off of the Liberty Valance, kind of Western
Yeah.
tropes, older generation versus younger generation, and how kind of cyclical that is. So it's definitely a 5 for me. I might even say 5.5, but I'm real comfortable at 5.
Mm.
Nice.
He's saving that last beer for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I think-
for a Sunday.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think like I started when we talked about doing this show, I started kind of getting, I was like, let me look at season 2 a little bit. So I watched a few season 2 episodes. I got very baked one night and I put it on.
That's the way.
Yeah. And so then my Disney Plus thought I watched like 13 episodes when I'd watched like 6, maybe 4. And so but this was one that I watched with sober eyes. I think it was so good and solid that it made me like really be like, I gotta get back in, like I gotta watch this show.
Mhm.
So I think I gotta give it I feel like you might want to compare it to, because I do feel that guest star thing. There's a lot of other stuff happening in the show that maybe isn't as focused on the main cast, but I thought it was a lot of fun and it was very silly and kind of, I think it really gives you a sense of what the show's about, I hope. And
I
from
agree.
my sense. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a full
Nice.
I'm gonna
Wow.
give it a full 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. Sheesh.
21.
Oops, all 6
21.
beers.
Yeah, I'm giving it 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thomas, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, I like a lot of it. I think there's maybe a couple of dips in this episode where it you sort of get ahead of it in a way. I guess structurally, like you know where it's going, and so there's a couple moments where I maybe lose a bit of the momentum, but the highs are very high. Kane is like an excellent character. Pops is a great character. And I feel like it also plays with the theme of the show and kind of reminds me of my experience at this time where like I think one of the reasons King of the Hill might have struggled at the time is like the generational divide. Like who is it for? Are you identifying with your parents? Are you identifying with the teenagers? Are you identifying? And there's kind of this fun reversal in the episode of all the different generations kind of blending into each other, becoming each other. Like we're all just as foolish as one another, and for that I liked it a lot. So I will give it 5 Guatemalacas.
Oh, 5 Guatemalacas.
What's the exchange rate to Alamos on that?
Is that an even
it a
exchange
1-to-1
rate?
or
Is a 1.
Oh shit, he hated this episode.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Yeah, you said a lot of nice stuff and then dragged it.
Yeah, that's kind
of the joke I wanted to that we forgot to mention that I think is fun is when Kane can't count to 4 and there's three down and 1 to go.
That was really good.
So yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with all of you on everything that you said. Ditto to that. I love a good guest star. I love that we had little pockets of every character. Like, I love how when an episode focuses, like if it's a Hank centric or an Allie boys centric episode, I love how they still give us a little bit of everybody else. Like we had some good moments from Luann, some real funny, memorable moments from Peggy, even, and some good Bobby peppered in there as well. I love
one of the best jokes in the Nancy's back breaking out in scratch marks in the beginning.
Yeah. So even episodes or characters that weren't on screen are being referenced.
Yeah.
I love that just for the show as a whole. It feels like they're really coming into their own with building out a lot of the characters. And I think the episode, just from story structure standpoint, was stellar. So I think I'm going to go with 6 Guatemalacas.
Nice.
Okay, there we go.
Season 2 has been very strong so far.
I think I've given 6 on like almost every episode.
Done it before,
The real thing I wanted to make special mention of, and we did talk about it a lot, but the visuals in that dream sequence really blew my mind. Like
might actually get that tattoo.
It was like genuinely fucking sick. Like watching that, I was like, this is so like out of this world.
Am I baked right now?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, you know.
Great use of Green Day also to bring some music and sound into it as well.
Not an annoying guest star at all, like used
understated
really well.
And they didn't like do like a big concert at the end or anything that like a lot of shows would do.
It was a very like how later Simpsons just became dependent on having big guests. It's like, fucking
this is
Richard
how you do it
Gere
without
is
doing
here.
it like that.
Yeah. I love it when a really famous guest star doesn't play themselves.
Yeah.
That's always really cool.
Yeah.
But with that, now that we're talking about guest stars and characters, we got one last little titular segment. Oops.
God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, Bobby, God dang it, Bobby, 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 Bobby,
Oh, that was
This
fire.
is the Hill King segment of the episode where we crown the MVP of the ep. Hopefully you guys were thinking about who you think could have led the way episode-wise for you. Who wants to kick it off with their Hill King?
I'll kick.
Go ahead, please.
No, you go for it. You're the guest. After you, please.
Guest first.
I'm gonna redub this award the Blue Flame of Valor.
Yes.
I gotta go with. Look, it's the center of the episode. I think a very funny one-off character, Kane Skretteburg.
Taking Kane.
My Hill King.
Nice.
I think, so many funny lines, so many good roasts. I idolize him the way that Bobby does. Congrats.
Yeah.
I don't care how many men you've held in the restroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
Shout out to Trey Cool, man. Shout out to
Yeah.
Trey Cool.
First, guest star crowning, I believe, of a Hill
Oh, there
King
we
in the
go.
history of the show.
No,
There we go.
I think I did with the archaeologist.
Fuck.
Maybe. Sorry, not to steal your glory, Thomas. I'm
Famous
sorry.
That's
guest
okay.
star, though.
That's okay.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
I think I think that I love a put upon character. I love a character that's low status. I love a character that gets shit on with great regularity in a show. And I think I appreciate the way they navigated and used Bill in this episode. So
Yes.
I think I gotta give it to the tank top titanium champion.
Yes.
Bill.
Bill's getting
I'm
Rare
also
Bill crowning.
I'm
Love
also
it.
taking Bill.
Nice.
Oh,
Double
I'm also
Bill.
taking Bill. Yes.
Double Bill,
doubling
baby.
up
Bill,
on the
Bill,
Bills.
Bill,
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 Bill
Nye, the
Nye,
science guy.
Bills. Go Bills.
It's a real
I'm
textbook
about to
episode
bust.
for Bill. Certainly, yeah. They use him as the out. They make fun of his, demeanor. He's got a really sad line about his divorce.
Yeah.
And I think I really loved him for his insurance
Yeah.
Yeah.
bit of how
that
he
was
was
good.
just kind of, because that's how the insurance commercials in that era were. It was like friends talking to their plans about, or their friends about the insurance. Like,
Mhm.
you can get this much. Like, I just really thought the whole Colonial Valley insurance
Yeah.
thing was super funny. So yeah, it's Bill for me.
It's a big Bill day.
Double Bill. I think just for the sake of mixing it up,
Yeah.
slash also being a little basic,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
He's gonna do
Woo
it.
loo loo. Woo loo loo.
I'm gonna
Hey,
go with Hank for this one.
Okay.
I enjoyed that he kind of drove the episode. I liked
Yeah.
that he got his revenge in the end. I also
Mhm.
really loved the shot of Kane Skretteburg shooting him so many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
he does get kind of petty in this episode.
I
which
love
is
a petty Hank.
Petty
We love
Hank
him.
is
Yeah,
good.
we stand a petty Hank.
We stan a petty king.
He
of the
also
Hill.
he
Yeah.
also got some action in this episode, which is good.
He
for
got
him.
laid.
Yeah, he
Yes.
did.
He needed
Yeah.
that.
That is a
He
good
did need
point.
that.
Shout out to
And-
Hank.
For
Shout out to
getting-
Peggy.
Tiny urethra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Peggy.
I'm about to bust.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well, that
Hell yeah.
pretty much sums it all up right here for this episode. We
Wow.
appreciate you guys coming on. We appreciate you
so much for
guys
having us.
sacrificing your Saturday for us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell,
for having
uh,
us. As I mentioned, I got a ton of stuff I gotta go
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
so-
you're busy.
Tell
Yeah.
tell our nephews where they can find you.
Yeah.
I'll plug one of our podcasts. Kevin can plug the other.
yeah, I'll plug the other.
You should listen to Oops All segments we've got coming out. Maybe by the time this is out.
Yeah,
our
I think this is
episode-
going to be out
Our
after.
episode with Brad. You can go
Ooh.
listen to Brad on Oops All segments.
Mhm.
It's a good time.
It's a very fun comedy show. We do random segments every time. We have a lot of great guests. You can go
Yeah.
back and listen to like Guy Madden, Skylar Higley, some other cool people. So check that out.
Very silly show. Very, very silly. I also host and DM a podcast, a Let's Play D&D podcast called What We Do in the Basement. Thomas is on that show for about 70 episodes.
Nice.
We have a huge back catalog. It's all one campaign. A lot of
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Dive in, check it out. It's a silly, silly, silly time. And
Nice.
We
what
love a
Find
silly
us.
time. Chris and
Yeah,
I have been
wherever you get
playing D&D
podcasts.
together for
Yeah, I
years.
didn't know you guys had a D&D pod. I'll
We
put,
have,
I'll
we
put
have.
you guys in the queue. I got some travel
Yeah.
coming up. So
Sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
please do. It's our early episodes. I really need to go back and get the audio cleaned up in like the first 5 to 6 episodes. They're a little just I was learning my ropes, as they say. But
Mm,
What We Do in the Basement, WWDITB on social media. Place to
cool.
go.
hell yeah. You love to hear it. Well,
Thanks again so much, guys. This
Yeah.
was fun.
Thank you.
once again,
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you guys coming on.
Getting
Appreciate
suited and zooted for us. I have
Yeah.
to say, these
Yeah.
are beautiful suits you're wearing. Yeah,
Yes.
they're very nice.
was my
Yeah.
wedding suit actually.
Oh my
Thanks.
god!
In that case,
Really did
it's
dress
not
up
as
for
nice
us.
as it should be.
This is a suit my uncle recently gave me because he was trying to get it out of his closet and it does not fit.
Ah, shout out
Him
to
or
the
you?
the real uncle. Like
It doesn't
the
fit
good
him,
guy.
doesn't fit me.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back next week for episode 8 of season 2, which is titled
The son who got away.
The son who got away. Appreciate y'all
That's a good
listening.
one.
Obviously, check us all out on the social medias. You know where it is. And check out the Oops All segments, boys. We'll see you next week.
Hill Kings Podcast.
Woof.